So let's have a look at the RESTful JSON Web API. We're going to give you a new HTTP client that supports RESTful and TLS 1.2 security protocol. We're going to give you a new JSON parser object and a JSON generator object. And coming later in PowerBuilder revision number 3, we're going to map those pieces to a data window, such as a data window source. We have now today web service or stored procedure. The data window will have a RESTful source. So let's have a look at the RESTful JSON demo. So this demo we'll have a look at an early version of PowerBuilder 2017 revision number 2. In this example we can actually run the RESTful Web API. I'm going to run the target here. You'll see a PowerBuilder window opens and a button at the bottom here says Call Web API. When I click on that, you'll notice on the right hand side the data window is populated. What actually came back was an actual RESTful Web API result set. That's the raw data that you see here. We then process some commands to extract the headers and then extract the JSON result set within that raw data stream. That JSON result set was then processed and populated into the data window primary buffer. Let's have a look how that was done. Returning back to the IDE, let's open up this RESTful window class demonstration. Let's have a look at the event list here and look at the open event. Notice that we have two new objects in the PowerBuilder system class, the HTTP client and the JSON parser. Those have been instantiated in the open event of this window. If we actually look at the actual command button behind the Call Web API, we'll see that the script here calls a method called ofCallWebAPI. That's a function. And if we look at that function, you'll see a couple of important things. First of all, this new one here on the HTTP client, get full RESTful string response data. So that basically extracts the JSON data from the response. The next thing that happens is it actually calls a method called ofImportData and passes that JSON result set. So let's have a look at that function, import data. One of the important things here, you see that we have a new JSON parser, and then we can call a load method, pass in the JSON result set, and that loads that result set into the JSON parser object. We then loop through that, basically getting the values from the JSON parser and adding them to the data window row, getting the next item value, add it to the data window row using the set item. So it's a very similar process of basically going through a loop, that reading one object's primary buffer, populating the other object's primary buffer.